Is Taehyunga gay or straight? In the shimmering lights of Seoul, amidst the cacophony of fame and the quiet whispers of adoration, there stood a figure who seemed almost ethereal in his beauty and presence. Kim Taehyung, known to the world as V of BTS, was a mystery to many. With his deep, soulful eyes, charming smile, and an aura that seemed to transcend the ordinary, Taehyung captured the hearts of millions. But behind the adoring gazes and the cheers of countless fans, there was a story of self-discovery, acceptance, and the boundless love he held for humanity. Taehyung was unlike anyone else. From a young age, he had always felt things deeply: joy, sadness, love, and even pain. These emotions weren't just fleeting moments for him, they were experiences that shaped his view of the world. As he grew older and entered the whirlwind of fame with BTS, these emotions became even more pronounced. He saw the world through a lens that few could understand, and this unique perspective made him both intriguing and enigmatic. As BTS soared to global superstardom, Taehyung found himself under the constant scrutiny of the public eye. Fans and media alike were fascinated by every aspect of his life, from the way he dressed to the way he interacted with others. But there was one question that seemed to linger in the minds of many: who was the real Taehyung? What were his deepest thoughts, his hidden desires, and most importantly, who did he love? The speculation about Taehyung's love life was endless. Rumors swirled around him like a never-ending storm, fueled by the curiosity of fans and the insatiable hunger of the media. Some whispered that he was in love with a fellow idol, while others believed he had a secret relationship with someone outside the industry. There were even those who speculated about his sexual orientation, wondering if Taehyung was gay, bisexual, or straight. But Taehyung never let these rumors affect him. He remained calm and composed, always offering a warm smile to his fans and a gentle word to those who asked about his personal life. To Taehyung, love was not something that needed to be defined or explained. It was a feeling, a connection between souls that transcended the physical and the material. One evening, after a long day of rehearsals and interviews, Taehyung found himself alone in his apartment, gazing out at the city lights. The world outside was vast and filled with people who loved him, yet there were moments when he felt an inexplicable loneliness, a yearning for something more. He wondered about the nature of love and why it seemed so complex and elusive. As he sat there, lost in thought, a soft knock on the door broke the silence. It was Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS and one of Taehyung's closest friends. Jungkook had always admired Taehyung for his wisdom and his ability to see the beauty in the simplest things. "Hyung," Jungkook said softly as he entered the room. "You seem distant lately. Is something bothering you?" Taehyung turned to look at Jungkook, his eyes reflecting a mixture of emotions. "I've been thinking a lot lately," he admitted. "About love, about life, about who I am and who I want to be." Jungkook sat down beside him, listening intently. He knew that Taehyung was a deep thinker, someone who often pondered the mysteries of life. "Do you want to talk about it?" he asked gently. Taehyung sighed and ran a hand through his hair. "It's just, people always want to know who I love, what I feel. They want to label me, put me in a box, but I don't want to be defined by those labels. Love is too big, too beautiful to be confined like that." Jungkook nodded, understanding what Taehyung was trying to say. "Hyung, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You love the way you love, and that's enough. People will always be curious, but that doesn't mean you owe them answers." Taehyung smiled at Jungkook's words. He had always appreciated how Jungkook could make things seem so simple, even when they were complicated. "You're right," Taehyung said softly. "But sometimes I wish people would see me for who I am, not just who they want me to be." Jungkook placed a comforting hand on Taehyung's shoulder. "They do see you, Hung. They see your kindness, your heart, and your love for the world. That's why they admire you. And those who truly care will accept you, no matter what." The two friends sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the city lights twinkle in the distance. Taehyung felt a sense of peace wash over him. He knew that he didn't need to have all the answers, and he didn't need to fit into anyone's expectations. All that mattered was that he stayed true to himself and continued to spread love and positivity through his music and his actions. As time went on, Taehyung became more and more comfortable with who he was. He no longer worried about the rumors or the questions about his love life. Instead, he focused on the things that truly mattered to him: his music, his fans, and his relationships with the people he cared about. One day, during an interview, a reporter asked Taehyung a question that had been on everyone's mind. "Taehyung, there's been a lot of speculation about your love life. Can you tell us who you love, or at least what kind of person you're attracted to?" Taehyung smiled warmly at the reporter, his eyes shining with sincerity. "Love is a beautiful thing," he said softly. "But it's also very personal. I believe that love is not about labels or categories. It's about a connection between souls, something that transcends the physical and the material. So, to answer your question, I love people for who they are, not for who they love or how they identify." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed Taehyung's words. It was clear that his response came from the heart, and it resonated with everyone present. In that moment, Taehyung's message of love and acceptance reached far beyond the confines of the interview. It touched the hearts of millions of fans around the world, reminding them that love was something to be cherished and celebrated, no matter its form. Taehyung's words soon became a beacon of hope and inspiration for those who struggled with their own identities. Fans from all walks of life found comfort in his message, knowing that they were not alone in their journey of self-discovery. Taehyung's acceptance of himself and others became a symbol of the love and unity that BTS had always stood for. As BTS continued to conquer the world with their music, Taehyung and his fellow members RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin and Jungkook remained true to their message of love and acceptance. They knew that their music had the power to heal, to bring people together, and to break down the barriers that divided them. One evening, after a particularly emotional concert, Taehyung found himself standing alone on the stage, looking out at the empty seats. The energy of the crowd still lingered in the air, and Taehyung could feel the love that had filled the arena just moments before. As he stood there, a sense of clarity washed over him. He realized that he didn't need to have all the answers, and he didn't need to fit into anyone's expectations. All that mattered was that he stayed true to himself and continued to spread love and positivity through his music and his actions. Taehyung knew that the world was full of different people, each with their own unique stories, struggles and dreams. He believed that everyone deserved to be loved and accepted for who they were, without judgment or prejudice. And he knew that BTS was more than just a band, they were a movement, a symbol of hope and unity for millions of people around the world. As Taehyung left the stage and joined his fellow members backstage, he felt a deep sense of gratitude. He was grateful for the love and support of his fans, for the bond he shared with his bandmates, and for the opportunity to make a difference in the world through his music. In the end, Taehyung realized that love was not about who you loved or how you identified. It was about the connections you made, the kindness you showed, and the way you treated others. Taehyung, like the rest of BTS, loved people for who they were, regardless of their orientation, nationality, or background. BTS and their fans had created a global community built on love, acceptance, and mutual respect. They had shown the world that love had no boundaries, and that the most important thing was to be kind to one another. As Taehyung and the rest of BTS continued their journey, they knew that their message would continue to resonate with people all over the world. They had become a symbol of hope and love, a reminder that no matter who you were or where you came from, you were deserving of love and acceptance. In the end, BTS was not just a music group, they were a global treasure, a beacon of light in a world that often seemed dark and divided. And Taehyung, with his warm heart and gentle soul, was a shining example of what it meant to love without boundaries. Taehyung knew that the journey of self-discovery was never truly over, but he also knew that he was not alone. He had his bandmates, his fans, and the love of millions of people around the world to guide him. And with that love, Taehyung and BTS would continue to spread their message of love, acceptance, and unity for years to come. Because in the end, BTS was love, and in their world, there was no room for division, only unity. And Taehyung, like the rest of BTS, loved people for who they were, not for who they loved or how they identified. Because to BTS, love was the most beautiful thing of all. This story is a reflection of the values that BTS represents: love, acceptance, and unity. It emphasizes that love should not be confined by labels or categories, but should be celebrated in all its forms. Taehyunga, like the rest of BTS, is portrayed as someone who loves and accepts people for who they are, regardless of their orientation, nationality, or background. BTS, as a global phenomenon, continues to inspire millions with their message of love and tolerance, proving that they are indeed a treasure for the world.